Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and we're here. Duskmourn has started. Still got a couple of things to look at this week from Bloomberg. Well, one thing to look at from Bloomberg, but I got a bit excited by this Duskmourn card, and this is the one I'm going to kick off the week with, and it is Valgavoth, Terror of Eta. Yeah, 6 and triple black for a flying lifelink 9/9 Elder Demon. Ward is quite important on this card. So it has sacrificed 3 non-land permanents, so that makes it very hard to deal with once you get it into play, outside of things like global destroy everything effects, Wrath of God, damnation, etc. But the abilities make, from my point of view, it very interesting. If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. And during your turn you may play cards exiled with Valgavoth. I don't know how we're going to call it Valley. Val, let's go with Val. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. It's definitely interesting. Having the ability to exile everything is great. There's a lot of things that still rely on the graveyard, so exiling anything that goes in their graveyard, especially people who like playing the lands from the graveyard, reanimated decks, so on and so forth. Yeah, kind of upsets them big time. And then having to pay life to play the spells can be dangerous, I'll be honest. But in other news, it could be very good. And that's what we're going to look at today. How are we going to make Val work? I'm going to go with Val because I'm going to butcher that name otherwise. So here we go. This is what today's deck looks like to start the week with. So here we go. We have a low creature count, only 21 creatures in the deck. We've got a little bit of discards. We've got Elderfine Disciple, we've got Elvish Doomsayer and Ravenous Rats and Virulus Beetle, so that we can make people discard stuff. Once Val's in play, those cards get discarded, and then we get to play them for some pain, for some life. We then have Liliana, Heretical Healer. Now, we want to try and keep Liliana around a little while for the lifelink to gain a bit of life, but if we have to flip her early, well, we have to flip her early, and that's the end of it. Murderous Rider lets us destroy something or gives another 2/3 with lifelink that will help. Necrotal, it's old school, come into play, destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature that can't be regenerated. Same with Ravenous Cubicala, destroy target creature an opponent controls, slightly better than Necrotal, in that it will destroy anything, but Necrotal has first strike, so that sometimes is relevant, but not that often. Akazolso, the Deepest Betrayal, is also here because they do help us discard cards. When it attacks, each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, you get to draw a card, and it flips into the another land that we may need. So, a 4/4 with lifelink again helps manage our life level so we can cast the spells along with Val. Cavalier and Knight has lifelink, comes into play, sack another creature. If you do, destroy target creature an opponent controls, and when it dies, return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from the graveyard to your battlefield. Now 9, well, a lot of the time it's going to be one of these far up here, or maybe even Murderous Rider who's gone to the graveyard somehow. So, it does have his upside. Gary's here. We had to have Gary, and we're playing a mono black deck at the end of the day, so Gary being here helps us gain a whole load of life when we've got some permanents in play. Necrogoth comes in from Modern Horizons 3. Whoops, where's it gone? There we go. Power and toughness equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. Well, power equal to the number of creature cards in graveyards. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player discards a card. Helps feed Val a little bit more, and then we can madness it into play if we need to, if we're forced to discard it. Sheldred appears to sacrifice a creature off for a planeswalker, and then we get to do the True Scriptures bit quite easily with this ability, with the amount of discarding we've got. Dread, I went old school, fancied this from Lorwyn. We don't see that many of the elemental incarnations, and the black one is actually quite good. Fear, whenever a creature deals damage, you destroy it. So it goes to the graveyard, Val's in play, gets exiled, you get to play it. And then when Dread is put into a graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it into an owner's library. So anywhere they get rid of Dread as they exile it. Noxious Gearhulk, we gain some life to a creature. You may destroy another target creature. If a creature is destroyed this way, you gain life equal to its toughness. A little bit more life gain. Tetzimok, Primal Death, makes an appearance from one of the Ixalan sets, and I can't remember which one off the top of my head without going and looking it up. But doing the black and revealing it to put a prey counter on target creatures, and then playing it to take out all those creatures is very good. The Knight, the Haunt of Hightower is also here, another life linker. We do have we've seen a few ways of discarding cards so far. Getting this big, gaining some life, pretty damn good. Abhorrent Overlord. I like having the little harpies around. Yes, we do have to sacrifice a creature, but you know, I don't mind sacrificing a few harpies because we should have a fair few with our devotion to black. Kalitas, the Blood Chief of Get, also makes an appearance. Destroy target creature. If that creature is put into a graveyard this way, put a black vampire creature token onto the battlefield. Its power rate is equal to that creature's power and its toughness to that power. So you get a token vampire out of it in addition to the ability to cast the creature you've just killed. Archon of Cruelty for the whole let's gain 3, draw a card and do nasty things to opponents. And then the Reaver Demon. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, destroy all non-artifact, non-black creatures. They can't be regenerated. 8 mana, very expensive. 6/6 is the only thing on the board. Pretty good. We do have quite a few Planeswalkers in the deck, just to help out. Liliana with the Veil for the discard, Liliana with the Dark Realms to go and sort out our swamps we need, and then maybe pump something up or give something -/. Hopefully we can get to the -6 so we can get the emblem so our swamps add 4 black mana instead, which really does help make recasting Valgavoth quite easy, believe it or not. Loth, the Spider Queen, makes an appearance as well. Loyalty counters everywhere and gets some lovely black creature tokens. Obnixilis Reunited destroys creatures, hence why it's here. We can draw a card and lose a life, but no, the -8. Whenever target opponent gets an emblem with, whenever a player draws a card, you lose 2 life. Pretty damn good if you've got someone playing blue. Anyway, the other version of Obnixilis of the Black Oath, the one who can be your commander, is here. For the +2 effect, each opponent loses 1, you gain life equal to the life lost this way. So if you've still got 3 opponents in play, you gain 3 for a +2, and yeah, Lego will go down 1, which is nice. Professor Onyx, because we have got a lot of spells coming up, they're instants and sorceries, so might as well have this way of draining each opponent for 2 and us gaining 2 for each one we play. And then Vraska, Betrayer's Sting, turning something into a treasure that's annoying us really does help us out quite happily. Not so worried about the -9 for the poison counters with this one. Spells wise, we have quite a few as you can see, and a lot of them are basically kill creatures. Drain Life. Black mana, the original one from Mirage, was in several of the very early sets. Black in 1 and then pay as much black as you want to get all that life gain. Feed the Swarm, had to have it in destroy target creature enchantment. Yes, we lose life, but it could save us from some of the annoying enchantments that are turning up at the moment. Finale of Eternity, destroy 3 target creatures with toughness X or less. If X is 10 or more, return all creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Can be helpful occasionally, but yeah, destroying 3 if we can get high enough value of X is pretty good. Then a lot of instant ones, so Go for the Throat, Heartless Act, Infernal Grasp. The Long Goodbye is only creatures with target creature or planeswalker mana value 3 or less, but there's some big mana value 3 or less creatures around at the moment. Torment of Hailfire, a backup win card for our black deck today. Basically, we all know the score with this one. We pump as much as we can into X, hope it doesn't get countered, and then watch as our opponents probably concede the game or curse us in the chat, which is what usually happens when I play this on MTGO. More target removal and ultimate price, Heroes Downfall, Murder, Poison the Cup, Ruinous Path, Bake into a Pie, Damnation for a complete board wipe if we need it. One thing I will say, I think I'm not a judge and I think this works. If you've got Val in play and you play Damnation, you still get Exile, all the things all trigger simultaneously. I think that's how it works. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments down below, but I'm 99% sure that's how it works. Dragons the Underworld for a little bit of a devotion thing that costs us 2 black to kill anything. Fell the Profane gives us another land we need to make up our land count if we need it to. Crux of Fate, destroy, well, whatever you want to destroy basically. It's a demon, it's not going to do anything, but it's another like mass removal thing. Very useful if you're against a dragon deck though, so bear that in mind. Capital Punishment, it gives everyone a bit of a voting thing and drives them mad. And then Blood Money, blow the board up, have loads and loads of tapped treasure tokens, and then hopefully recast Valgavoth the next turn and get on with things. Because Val is 9 mana, I had to go a bit heavy with the ramp on this. So we've got Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Expedition map for, well, you can probably work out what lands I'm going to go and get with this because we're playing a mono black deck. Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, Charcoal Diamond, Jet Medallion, Stark Steel Ingot, and Nyx Lotus and Throne of Eldraine, all for me count as big mana ramp spells. I'll put Swiftfoot Boots in. You may want to attack with some of your other creatures, and it also gives a bit more protection. Or maybe you want to maybe it's the second time you've cast Valgavoth. You can equip this, get in, gain some life, and cast some of the spells you already had go to the Great Exile land. It's possible, hence why it's here. Only one of though, because with Val's built-in protection of 3 up here, 3 mana, sacrifice 3 non-land permanents, it's a little bit better. A few enchantments to help out. Tiny Bones joins up just because everyone gets to discard for 1 black mana, and then legendary creatures means everyone mills a card and you lose a life. They lose a life, so that sounds good. Waste Not, because we are doing the whole discarding stuff occasionally, so might as well try and get some benefit from that. Bastion of Remembrance, when creatures die, where everyone loses 1 and you gain 1 for each creature who dies that we control. And if we are sacking off, wherever it's gone, where are I? There you go, little harpies every turn. That helps. From there, the Court of Ambition, just to give more people a bit of a nightmare, especially with the discarding side of things, so we can get more benefit from Valgavoth. No Mercy, just to protect us, so whenever a creature deals damage to us, that gets destroyed, which is nice. And Death Pits of Wrath. Yeah, you can drop the Death Pits if you want to and play a 35th land. I wouldn't complain about it. I just like to play Death Pits occasionally in a mono black deck, and that's what I'm doing with this one. Land-wise, a whole load of Searchland, Bloodstained Mires, Polluted Delta, Verdant Catacombs. I'm sure there's some Marsh Flats. I'm sure some I've missed. The cards, obviously, you were expecting to see Cabal Coffers and Cabal Stronghold because we're playing mono black and we want to get that black going. Backing it all up with Field of the Dead, which does trigger occasionally, believe it or not, once you get there. And then we have Nykthos Shrine to Nyx as well, Reliquary Tower, Spawning Pool, because I quite like these regenerating land. I want to play something a bit different. Temple of the False God, and Herbal Tomb of the Yagamoth, which you don't have to stack your catacombs off and things off then if you have this in play, because they have swamps anyway, there's no point. And that's it. Obviously, I'm recording this video before the full set for Duskmourn is released, but Valgavoth, the Terror Eater, really did inspire me, and I really like these big black splashy legends you see occasionally, and I really want to get this one out early. So, if you think there's anything I've missed out majorly, please, down below, leave me a comment. If it's the first time you've been to my channel, I'd love it if you should subscribe. I'm sitting at 507 subscribers as I record this video today, so if you can help out and hit that subscribe button, that would be really great, just to see where I can get to by the end of the year. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another deck from Bloomberg for one of the main set legends I haven't covered yet. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope it's inspired you. And if you've got anything you want to let me know that I should include it, let me know down below. Thanks, take care, bye.